Hey, and welcome to NUFC Talk. You're here with me, Glen, and I'm joined with my good friend Jan. Though it is a delicate version of you today, mate, isn't it?
Slightly ropey.
So Yanis enjoyed his bank holiday in the town, celebrating 3 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a class short lineup for you. We've got loads to go through. We've got the game of Leicester. I've got an Eddie Howe quiz for everybody, and I'm also going to test my hungover friend to see how he gets on. It's class, honestly, it's class. There's 5 questions with the Eddie Howe story, which you might have heard of. Let us know in the comments. And then we're looking forward to Crystal Palace and Norwich. So loads to talk about.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribing. If you haven't, click subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like.
Yeah.
Give us a comment, even if you've got nothing to say. Just like put any sort of initial anything in there.
Thumb. It was a big thumb up. Did you do thumbs up?
I don't know. Just do anything.
Right thumbs up.
Help. Yeah, that's it. Right thumbs up, or even drop us a comment on Newcastle. TikTok one hitting 1,000 on there.
Yeah, 1,000 views recently.
Yeah.
100 followers now.
Twitter we're 500. So thank you very much.
That was good. That
was good. So it just showed the Newcastle community. We do massively appreciate it, and hope you are enjoying the show. So to start, mate.
Yeah, let's do it then. Come on,
So-
let's get out of the way.
So yeah, Eddie Howe, I've got five questions for you, mate. It's going to start off pretty straightforward, and the last 2 link into an Eddie Howe story I only found out about.
Okay.
So it's a nice intro to the story. Okay, so play along, see if you can beat hungover Yanis here. Okay, so how old is Eddie Howe? Is he A 40, B 42, or C 44?
42.
Final answer.
Yes. Don't you always final answer me? Then instantly I always go like, oh wait there. Why is he final answer? Is he asking me that because I'm wrong, or is he?
Well, go for your how it regularly goes.
I'm going.
Your current form.
Oh yeah, but you've never really been helpful in these quizzes. You've always been like, oh, final answer is it? Then are you sure?
So if
it's
I was
actually
to,
right.
If I was to do you want to ask? Do you want to have another guess?
Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, let's try again.
So what's your answer?
42.
Wrong.
Is he 44?
44. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
Eddie Howe is 44. Eddie Howe, when he played as a professional footballer, what was his position? Was he a defender, a midfielder, or an attacker?
He's a midfielder, I think.
He played 2 games for England under 21s as well.
Did he?
Yeah. So I'll ask you the question again. Was he a defender, a midfielder, or a forward?
I think he was a midfielder still.
I'll ask you the question again. Do you think?
I think he's a defender.
Correct.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe was a defender. Well done, Yanis. 1-1.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got that one right. I knew that one.
Third question.
Uh-huh.
Eddie Howe got manager of the decade in 2015. Random year to get it. For his... I know.
What year? It wasn't 16, did you say?
15. For 3 promotions that he got with Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Did he get the 3 promotions in A, 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years? So he got 3 promotions because he saved them first of all,
Yeah.
then took them obviously up to the Premier League.
5 years. Final answer.
Final answer, 5 years. Incorrect. 7 years. So you're 2-1 to me or the quiz, or just not you. But
I'm not winning basically.
So these next 2 questions, I kind of created this quiz because I came across this little story.
Okay.
So, and if you've heard these answers before or the story, like, please let us know, because I don't know, but when Eddie Howe came in, I didn't know a great deal about him except he managed Bournemouth and he loved to play attacking football and he saved them, and that was pretty much all I knew about him. So Eddie Howe only actually ever played for 2 clubs his entire career. I'm going to give you 4 options, see if you can guess which 2. Okay. So A, Swindon, B, Portsmouth, C, Southampton, or D, Bournemouth. So he played for 2 of them teams.
Bournemouth and Southampton. I think he stayed down the south coast.
He correctly stayed down the south coast. He was at Bournemouth and Portsmouth. He was loaned to Swindon, but he never actually played for them.
More fool Swindon.
Yes. And then, question number 5.
I can't believe I got that wrong, by the way. In my head, I was like, I knew he stayed on the south coast, so I actually thought I was so confident in that one.
So this is the this is the main one which takes me.
Okay, it's the main one, right?
This is the one I'm going to
So
take.
basically, if I get this right, I still win.
Yeah. So you're currently getting beat 3-1, but this one's got
That's still the winner.
This is 1,000,000 bonus points.
Right, okay.
So you
Million Glen points.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Eddie Howe was transferred from Bournemouth to Portsmouth, and then he was transferred back to Bournemouth, but it was an unusual way that he got transferred. Did he A, pay the transfer fee himself, B, the fans pay the transfer fee, or C, he got sacked, so left on a free? So I'll say that again. So the way that Howe went from Portsmouth back to Bournemouth was a peculiar way. Did he A, pay the transfer fee himself, B, the fans pay the transfer fee, or C, did he get sacked, so he left on a free?
I'm going to say he paid himself.
Final answer.
Yes, because I know he put his hand in his pocket when Bournemouth were really struggling as a club, and he bought stuff, and his coach and staff bought stuff for the club when they were going to drop out the Football League. So I know he's done that. So maybe he's got that in his locker. I don't know how the fans would pay for. I don't know.
So let me put you at your pain, Jan. I'm going to tell you a story which has the answer at the end. Okay.
How on?
So, in March of 2002, trust me, I thought the story was class. In March of 2002, Harry Redknapp,
Harry
had just joined Portsmouth, and Eddie Howe was his first ever sign in Portsmouth.
Was he?
So when he assembled that class team,
Yeah.
Eddie Howe was his first signing. He signed him for £400,000. His debut against Preston North End ended the season with an injury. Eddie Howe then returned in the opening game of the following season, and after 9 minutes injured the same knee.
Oh.
So they were the only 2 games he ever played. He got loaned to Swindon where he didn't feature, so he was still a Portsmouth player. The Bournemouth fans then created an Eddie Share fund where the fans chipped together £21,000 in 3 days and bought Eddie Howe back for the team.
That's actually class, by the way.
And then Eddie Howe then came back and ended up playing, I think it was 270 games for Bournemouth. And then finally in 2007, injuries stopped his playing career.
Yeah.
He moved into the reserves, and that's when he moved up. So the reason why I said that story is, one, I thought it was class, and I never heard it before.
Yeah, it's good that.
And 2, it just shows you how much of a good person he is, that the fans thought so much that they managed to raise 21 grand and buy him for the club.
And also, by the way, if you're like if you're a football purist fan, like, he's paid it back in a lot and taken them up the divisions.
You think he saved them from getting relegated into non-league football
Yeah.
to the Premier League, and could bounce back again this year. So
Yeah, they should bounce back.
it's all from him. I'm sure there's some players played as well, but he was the catalyst that held them together. So if you want, that to me, that's a story for a pub.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
That's a good story. Yanis
And we are in the bar, aren't we? So
Yeah, we are in the bar. So before the next home game, if you want to drop that story to your mates, and you can even claim that one, or you can even tell them where you got it from. Just tell them to like and subscribe, and then you can claim the story. Okay.
yeah, good that. It's good that. I like that.
So the quiz, I lost count there, but I think you got me.
I think I won.
Did you? Okay.
I think so.
We'll maybe go to VAR, see what they say.
Anyway, game.
Yes, mate. So, how much of the game do you remember? Do I need to carry you through this episode?
No. I made sure that I didn't have too many drinks. I only had a couple of drinks during the game. It was actually afterwards. I was nearly home, and my mate messaged me and was like, he was cutting about, and so I turned back round, let the missus know I wasn't going home, and went for a couple more, and then came in like midnight.
That's it. It's a good session when you've been out all day for the game.
Terrible idea, really.
Especially when you're in your 30s as well. In your 20s, it's like, need bother. You'll be up the next morning ready for work, but...
So little food as well.
Anyway, starting 11.
Yeah.
Any surprises?
No, I think as expected, really. I thought Kraft would play over Manquillo.
Yeah.
And I think we agreed that we thought Miggy would probably start because he played a bigger part in the last game. So Eddie Howe's been reluctant to change too much. So obviously Fraser wasn't going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing really. I guess more surprises with the fact that last time made 8 changes.
Well, when we did the show last Tuesday, I predicted a 1-1, and then I put a poll on Twitter, with predictions on. Sorry, not a poll. I put a post on for predictions, and I said I reckon it was 2-1. The reason why I changed my guess from 1-1 to 2-1 or a draw to a Newcastle win is because I didn't realise that Leicester were playing away at PSV on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers decided to keep the team in Holland on Friday, train in Holland on the Friday, travel straight up to Newcastle.
Did he?
Yeah, so
Interesting that.
So he kept them there because he thought it'd be a bit more, would be
Focus
less
and
disruption.
stuff. Yeah.
But then he changed 8 players anyway.
I guess you are probably. It probably does make sense. I think it just hasn't worked out for him, but I think it does make sense. And by the way, it hasn't worked out for him, but they were probably the better side during the game. We're not going to get into the game, but
I know. But then from a Leicester point of view, like, they've got nothing to play for, and Europe is their thing to play for. So
yeah, no, I don't think they took the Europa Conference particularly seriously at the start of the competition, but now they're getting quite deep in it. They're like,
yeah, they've got a good chance of winning it.
If you're going to finish between 11th and 9th in the Premier League, what difference is it really when it can go win the inaugural? I think it's the first one, isn't it? The first UEFA Conference. This is the first year of it, isn't it? I think
the European plate. I feel like you're going to get one of the wooden trophies, the little shield of it.
Screwfix Direct trophy. I actually think it's a good thing. I like it, and it's
going to help get money into the smaller countries. I don't even sound disrespectful, but I think it is going to be good. Yeah. But
and it means that you can be a champion of your nation and not just go to Europe and get pumped. You know what I mean? You can win your league by 20 points, but then you come to the Champions League and you get absolutely smashed.
So what position do you have to finish to? Can we qualify for it this year?
It might be able to. No one seems to want to qualify for Europe in the Premier League. So, I think you finish 5th and 6th is Europa League. Is that right? And 7th is. It's just one got. I have
no idea.
It's a bit 14th place, man.
I know.
Where's the total cup these days?
I know, yeah, the Milk Cup. But then, if a couple of English teams pick up some trophies as well, does it not move it down? But hey,
I don't know. Yeah, probably I. But yeah, probably to be expected. Is there any surprises? Were you?
No, there was a stat which surprised me, which popped up on Sky where Miggy hasn't had a goal or assisted in a goal in 36 Premier League games now.
I don't find that surprising.
36. It's a full season.
It is. But that's part of. Yeah. I don't think that's that surprising. Really, I can only remember. I can remember scoring in the Bournemouth game. Was it Bournemouth? We beat 4-0 last, and then he scored a Palace goal. His first goal was at the Palace. I remember hitting the post in his first game and thinking, "Oh, this guy's a player." If he chipped the keeper out and went straight in and he scored that goal, he probably got 25 goals.
Yeah, but he's not.
He's not.
No.
He had a good game though, didn't he? Yeah. I thought.
Look, my opinion hasn't changed. I like Miggy. A lot of the fans want to do well, but he's
totally limited as a player. He really is limited as a player.
But he plays top. He's one of our attacking players, and he hasn't assisted or scored goals for 36 games. He shouldn't be playing up front if you can't. 36 games without an assist or a goal.
Yeah.
And you're a winger, and a winger isn't the top. Their main job is to feed the striker, and then have some input with goals. If you haven't done that for 36,
and he was back in MLS, wasn't he? He was a scorer of all sorts of goals. Scored goals from outside the box. I think something with kicks the ball, he's not going to reach the net. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like someone needs to get him on a bulk. Someone needs to get some protein in him, get him on a bulk, and get him squatting.
He runs, he presses, he tracks back, but I just don't seem good enough for a starting 11 team.
No.
And it was we were asked a question by Dylan on Twitter, which we're going to do a full episode on this once we get to the back end of the season. Which fringe players would we buy, sell, loan out? And I think Miggy's got ones that you would sell. I think you could easily get a good fee for him, and it just adds some more money to the pot for financial fair play. Because I've got a feeling we'll get closely watched for that.
Do you not think do you think he's a squad player for at least one more season?
Nah.
Really? But there's much of a muchness between him and... So I think there's games where I prefer Miggy to start because I think he gives us more... He's defensively better. He does graft off the ball, and he was good again off the ball, I thought.
But I think Murphy and Fraser do the same job as him, but I think he'll get more money for Almiron for some reason. I think he could fit into some teams. So I think he will do a job for maybe even another league, but I just feel like you could get a fee with him, and that could go towards transfer fee. But anyway, we'll save that for another part. 15 minutes, we haven't even got to the game yet.
I guess early doors, free kick from Shelby, pretty tame.
Yeah.
And I think early first 20 minutes, Leicester were the better side. It felt like Leicester were the better side.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like Leicester were the better side throughout the game with the ball, but they didn't really seem to create anything. It felt like a lot of it was in front of Newcastle, and Newcastle were deep, and we went very deep. It felt very early. We were very deep.
Yeah, so I've got the stat here I wrote down. So possession-wise, Newcastle had 31% possession, and Leicester had 69%. And what we've been doing lately, our possession's massively shot up. And I just thought it was bizarre that we allowed them to have so much of the ball, and we sat deep, like you said, so early on, and for such long periods of the game. Like, look, the game plan, maybe it was the game plan to play on the counter-attack. We picked up the 3 points, but if you look at the game as a whole, you would think Leicester were the team that should have won.
It's interesting because if you think about games that we've played in where we have really imposed ourselves in teams, like West Ham, the first time we played Everton, Villa, Chelsea, like all teams that like the ball and are decent with the ball and keep it, especially players like teams like Chelsea, West Ham and Villa. But we managed to disrupt them. We didn't let any of the balls, especially like the Villa game. We didn't anything get into Coutinho, Ramsey. Chelsea game, the press was it was perfectly organised. It was really, really good how we structured the press across the pitch. But in this game, it seemed we didn't fancy going toe to toe against, and we seemed to sit off and want to play on the break a little bit more. I don't know if that's a fair. So I've only watched. Obviously, you see it when you're at the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've only seen snippets of match of the day. Well, the match of the day afterwards, which only gives you a small sample. So you can't. I think you sometimes get your view gets warped slightly when you're there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is that what it felt like to you?
Because I watched the whole game back again today, full 90 minutes, and it looked like that was the plan, was to give them the ball. I don't know if it's because the plan was to counter attack. Like, we looked sharp when we did counter attack, and I thought Maxi played his role well with what he has to do. I know he still gets loads of shite from fans, but
very good game, Maxi.
That is his job. I thought he did what he was asked to do. Yeah.
Sorry, jumping in. So just before then, if we're setting up to be a counter attacking side, is Murphy not a better option than Miggy?
Yeah.
So I don't think that is the game plan. I think that's just how the game developed, and the rhythm of the game went that way, and then we started to sit deep, and then
Eddie Howe's proved a few times that he can change the game during the game.
Yeah. It's
not like the days of Bruce where
couldn't change the team.
We'd try during the week if you decided to have a train session. Or wait for the next transfer window where you got told you got no money again. But no, Eddie Howe can change, react them, so I don't know. Let's jump to the corner where they scored from.
Yeah, it's awful, that.
Yeah.
It's really poor, by the way.
It was a really good move from Leicester. Like Perez, his little flick at the front post.
Yeah, it's good.
Came back to Lookman. And there was 3 players, Shelby, Wood and Bruno, all caught on the heels a little bit.
Yeah.
Shelby was in the middle, so it should have been him that's getting out there first, or just leave someone on the edge of the 18-yard box, and it eliminates that even being an issue. But yeah, there was 3 players that all went to close him down, all seemed a little bit on the heels.
I think on Match of the Day they discussed it, and they had Liam Osman. Leon Osman?
Leon
Osman. Hi, Leon Osman. They had him on, and basically he said, like, if you've got 8 yards free in the opposition's penalty area from a corner, then you're doing something well. But I think the opposite. I think it's all from Newcastle. Just get a man out there. Put somebody about penalty spot-ish, and see your job is to keep an eye on him.
Because you mentioned this before we pressed record. Did we lack some leadership then?
Yeah. That's what.
Was it Lascelles' role? Did Trippier do it? But I think if you're in the Premier League, Dan Burnshard, Dubravka, like he's got one of them's got to be commanding the box.
Yeah.
John Joe, captain.
Yeah. He's not a naturally vocal captain, is he? He's not going to scream at people. But I think if that happens at like Liverpool, Van Dijk or Matip or Henderson or somebody is screaming at somebody to watch that man.
Maybe that's the difference between a top 6 defender and
maybe
any other defender, or even like a top 3 or 4 defender.
I think it's just that sides that have maybe more leaders, or maybe it's just a lapse and just it just hasn't been noticed, and it's just one of those things. But all in all, it's a good goal from Leicester, and you'd be delighted with that. But it's not a shocker from us.
I thought the first half an hour, everything just seemed a little bit flat. The team, like the ground seemed buzzing at the start of the game, but seemed to go flat for a bit. Like, so the goal came at the perfect time, and Brendan Rodgers was probably thinking his game plan, and he actually said, like we managed to quieten the crowd down for the start, so he was pretty excited. He was happy with his team's performance for the first half an hour.
I reckon it would have been. I think there was that initial niggy bit where he nicks the ball in the first like 25 seconds, and Amati brings him down, gets a little tug on him, and then gets a booking, and the crowd was like wow, and it was going mad, and then like that was the last thing that like sort of was to shout about really for the first half an hour or so.
So the goal, Bruno did well to get in there, and Schmeichel did his thing where he complains and
honestly, man,
managed to get the ref to disallow it, and I can't see why the ref. He must have had a bad angle to disallow it because it goes to VAR, and even VAR looked. I suppose we weren't playing a top 6 side, which is probably why we got the goal. But there must have been a nervous tension, thinking the goal was going to be disallowed.
Yeah, I just assumed it would be because it's hard to see, and I just assumed it was going to have been in his hands. I didn't think that he would have sat on the ball and so like whatever he was doing with it. It was really unfortunate for Schmeichel if you think about it, because he does make a half decent save and then he just like ends up kind of behind him. But
it's not really a save though, because he doesn't secure the ball.
Yeah, no, well, but
it's a half decent save. He saves and pushes the ball out of it, but he basically just give the ball back to the person who kicked him.
It couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke 10 years ago, but now I hate Schmeichel. So I used to like him, now I hate him. So fine. I just think he's just a moron, honestly, man. But
I saw. So I'm losing my voice. I wasn't even at the game. I saw a still frame, where Dan Burn went up for the header. It came from his head off his arm and went back to Bruno.
Oh. So VAR missed it.
I think VAR missed that one, and we kind of got away with it.
Well, it's alright, because Madison got a penny she never had in the last game, so get that right round you.
Karma levels itself out, doesn't it?
Exactly. Well, I don't think it really does it. Newcastle this season, not when you see that Edison.
We break in the top 6, mate, when all the VAR decisions are coming our way.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
I'll be calling 12th man.
But good goal. I got the celebration video, which is quite good.
Yeah.
But yeah, for us, like that was probably, I would say, against run of play. Tell you what I did see. You know when Bruno does his little dance? Mm-hmm. Did you notice Joe Linton going for the big 10s and then Bruno not turning around?
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
he left him hanging, just patted him on his quick little massage.
I did like that. Like he used to go for the big 10s and he wasn't there.
Wood penalty?
Nah. I think he tries to lift it over Soyuncu. And if he gets it all the way over him, because he tries to dink it over him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was trying to do what he did previous week.
He's trying to buy a pen, which I think if he gets it maybe 2 inches higher, he goes over Soyuncu, gets a pen all day, and then he would have scored a penalty, which would be good because he's my frigging captain this week. So, but I did bring Bruno in, by the way. So yeah,
that's a good shout.
I put him a free hit.
It's a free hit, so he's not
there. Everything else has gone wrong. But nah, I didn't think it was a penalty. I didn't think it was a foul at all.
I didn't tackle. Nah, no pen.
And then next thing's probably Kraft's tackle on Lookman.
Yeah, same note here, yeah.
He's had a good. I think somebody else mentioned it, didn't they, on Twitter for us to chat?
Yeah, we got the stats up. We reposted on our Twitter feed, which is NUFC Talk Pod. Kraft this week is top of the Premier League for interceptions and tackles.
That was out of the next 14, so not the big 6. Is that right?
You might be calling me out here, but yeah,
I think it's outside the big 6.
But either way, it shows craft is
cool.
night and day. Like, when I used to see him in the starting 11, I used to get the fear.
Yeah, I was like, we already started -1 goal.
Yeah,
He was hopeless. He really was hopeless, by the way. He was awful.
I hate just bashing players, like, and calling them, like, hopeless with try and explain what they did wrong, whereas Kraft just was. He just was full of mistakes and...
Yeah, he was making mistakes, like, on the ball, but he's making mistakes, like, positionally all the time. He was always
out of
getting
position,
caught.
yeah.
But, so he's obviously being coached better in a sense of, like, positionally and where to be. Maybe he's one of these people that just need to be told exactly where to be all the time.
That tackle, you can't coach that tackle. That's confidence.
He has a bloody good tackle, by the way.
Yeah. You watch that back, he literally dinks his toe at the ball. 2 months ago, 4 months ago, he's going in scissor kick like that.
He's clotheslining him.
Yeah. He's not making that tackle. That's come with confidence and him just being able to play at a higher standard. So,
yeah, I think then also maybe an involvement of Fabian Schär next to him.
And we mentioned this last week. Some right back classes from Trippier.
Exactly, yeah. The back four was good. In fact, considering it's what I mean about all being in front of Newcastle. If you consider the fact that we did have, what was it, 31% possession?
31%, yeah.
And it felt like Leicester had made most of the running in the game. It was all in front of Newcastle, except that Lookman chance, and obviously the goal which came from a set piece.
But I don't even think that was just the back four. That was the full team. The full, the midfield dropped back. We went from a 4-3-3 to a 4-5-1 when we were defending. And every single player played his part. And for Leicester to have 69% possession and not be able to break us down. Like, can you imagine any other team 6 months ago having that much possession against us? We're 3-0 down, 4-0 down. Easy.
Yeah, easy.
But Kraft did really well. Then we had our subs were made in the 68th minute.
I was gonna say this. I thought the subs were brilliant. I thought when the subs were, it feels like that is more of a. Do you know, you and I discussed the other week. Should we play Bruno instead of? Obviously, you play Bruno, but are you playing Shelvey, or are we playing Willock?
You're going to back my point of view, aren't
And
you?
I'm going to say, I think if you
let me just take this moment and go on.
Well, if you, I am going to back your point, but I'm also going to caveat.
Go on then.
Because if you start Willock and Bruno in the deeper role instead of Shelvey, you could bring Shelvey on and maybe get some more control on the ball, instead if you needed that. But in this, I think it makes more sense that later on in the game you can bring Joe Willock on, and it gives you extra legs, loads of energy.
Yeah.
And when you're looking to counter attack or play on the break,
Shelby's not making that run in the 94th minute.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he's coming in the 93rd. He's still...
That's true. Like, but all in all, how good of a goal? Like,
we'll get there in a second because I've got a couple of other points. At 68 minutes, I thought they were good substitutions because he brought on energy, he brought on fresh legs, which you mentioned there.
And also the Murphy gives us a better counter-attacking option as well.
Yeah.
So as the game is getting potentially more stretched, Murphy is better and probably gives us. And I think all in all, who's a better impact sub, Murphy or Miggy? Well, Miggy doesn't impact the game at any point. So I think Murphy's a better impact sub. So all in all, I thought how good he subs.
Maybe Miggy should start because he is that person who's never going to get the ball, but he's just the other person who does the press really well. So he's the one that can run for longer. And then when it's time to win the game, Murphy has more skill to do the stuff.
When you want to have the ball back.
80th minute, Dan Burn had a header from a free header at a corner, and he completely missed his time and everything. I'm like, now
apparently I missed it as well, didn't
he? He missed it, don't we? So you didn't miss anything except Dan Burn missing the header. But 80th minute corner, back post left unmarked. How would you leave the biggest man on the pitch unmarked from a header? And then Brendan Rodgers' interview at the end of the game tells you how Leicester messed this up.
Yeah.
In the 93rd minute, Soyuncu played a long ball. Now, some of you might have seen this on Sky or Match of the Day. Rodgers said like their game plan was to hold the ball, play it around, not play the long ball. Then the 93rd minute, he even says, I don't know why we just decided to play a long ball all of a sudden. And he launched the long ball from like a sort of left back position to our left back, so it was like diagonal long ball. And Terry and Ronnie on Twitter have both mentioned this as well, how well Target and Willock do it.
Oh yeah, class.
Most defenders will probably just shield it, let that ball go to player, or put it out for throw in, or whatever happens. Target does exceptionally well to keep it in play and then put it forward to Willock, who dummies the ball through his legs, turns at the same time and goes past whoever's marking him.
Tillemans.
Was it Tillemans? Was it?
Tillemans is like John Joe Shelby. He's running a trickle, isn't he?
So that was great. As Willock's blasting forward, there's one of the Leicester defenders tries to take out Joe Linton with a headlock.
He does, doesn't he?
So the ref...
You got booked for it, didn't he?
The ref put his arms out, so he was going to bring her back for a free kick. And then, as we all know, we've all probably watched this, like...
I watched it loads of times.
Yeah, it's like on repeat, and most... If you go on like the Twitter feed right now, it's just different people's angles of the Bruno goal. Willock's cross is deflected.
Aye.
And Bruno's busted good to run like, was it 50, 60, 70, 80 yards? That diving header.
I know, it was an 82, I think it was an 82 yard run in the 94th minute, which is pretty good. But I think you, was it Terry and, was it Dylan, did you say?
No, Terry and Ronnie.
Terry and Ronnie. So, I think they're both right in the sense that you've got to give massive credit to Matt Target, because if that's like the 80th minute, then you can. But in the 94th minute, it's so easy to shout that out, take a point, which I think would have been a good result, and I've taken the point.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to shout that out, but I think he gets the opportunity to keep it in, and then it's the fact he just takes it and doesn't.
I think that's probably why Leicester went off, and it shows you the Premier League how critical it is and how clinical it is. They went off their game plan because they thought the game was pretty much ended and launched the ball long.
Sancho's one, like 93rd minute, just humps it long. Roger's absolutely skinning him, isn't he?
And then, have you seen the stat where that was the latest winning goal since
2007? Since 2006, 2007? Where Samba scored?
Samba, yeah.
Where's Samba?
Yeah. He was a mercenary, wasn't he?
I went from Blackburn like QPR, like open. He was like, I'm going for more money.
Yeah.
I don't even know where QPR is, but I'm going for more money. Absolutely class goal. What a way to endear yourself to Newcastle fans, as if they didn't love him enough. But a diving header, like a 93rd minute diving header. I mean, come on.
That's going to be on T-shirts. It's going to be like, I'll get a picture put up in the bar at some point. Like, that's
class. Huge credit to Target. Huge credit to Willock. And that's why I really like Joe Willock. He gives us. There's an argument to say Joe Linton can do that as well. I think he gives us probably what nobody else in the midfield gives us. That gives a genuine pace, and he's direct, and he can run with the ball.
Now I'm going to disagree with what you said about Joe Linton there, and I'm a Joe Linton fan, by the way, since he moved to midfield anyway. Joe Linton's shooting. He attempted a few long balls from a Shelby position.
Aye.
And in the box, he still gets nervous. He can't do that stuff. He just needs to be told, look.
Oh, he can carry the ball. I mean, when he get to the box,
yeah,
hopeless.
He should almost like rugby and American football, where they have like the separate lines, like the Joe Linton line. Like once you get the ball here, you have to pass it to somebody else.
Yeah.
You can only play.
Or you just shield the ball till someone collects it from you.
You break on one-on-one with the keeper. Just shield it and wait for Maxi or someone to catch you up.
Aye.
But yeah, Joe Linton's shooting. He tried to play that Shelby sort of quarterback role a few times and launched the ball. It didn't work, and
I think he had done that quite well in terms of the long balls a couple of weeks back. But I think there are now clear limitations to him as a midfielder. He's an aggressive ball winner, simple passer. He's not going to score goals, clearly.
But that's fine.
Because he can't score goals as a striker, so he's not going to score as a midfielder. But I think there are certain limitations to him that he probably isn't the world-beating midfielder that everyone was saying he is. There are limitations to him, but right now he's probably ideal for what we need. So, but yeah, like what a way to endear yourself to Newcastle fans like that.
Yeah,
absolutely class. And I was singing that. I was fucking imagine you guys imagine until about an hour ago. But yeah,
I wonder what you were saying when I heard you coming in there.
But I think all in all, it was that was like the perfect way to win the game in terms of like just I can't love Bruno anymore. He's so good. He's so neat and tidy. So that the stats that you brought up with Kraft earlier on,
Yeah.
Bruno's also in that top 10 in terms of like interceptions to win the ball back. And he scored 2 goals.
There was 5 Newcastle players in it. I haven't got the ones to hand right now because we're recording through it.
But the fact that he scored 2 goals and still is also in the top 10 for like possessions and tackles.
So
that's quality.
Here's a question for you. Who was your man of the match?
Bruno, aye.
If Bruno hadn't scored the second goal, who's your man of the match?
I don't know. Like maybe I think Maxi had a really good game.
I think mine might be Kraft, you know.
Aye, probably Kraft, yeah. Matt Target as well, like. Matt Target's super solid, isn't he?
Target reminds me of a left back. See if you a left back grown up in the 90s, as we were 90s kids. He played left back. You never got less than a 7 out of 10 from him. He scored a bunch of goals because he was on free kicks and penalties.
For Newcastle?
No, just he was a well-known left back in the Premier League. He was Irish.
Ian Hart?
No. He was on penalties, wasn't he? But no, short left back, Irish, played for Man United as well.
Irish left back? Oh, good, no, that's going to...
Dennis Irwin.
Oh, Dennis Irwin, aye.
Yeah, you know, he just does his
right
job.
back, left back, 2-footed, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
But he just does his...
Can he praise that, like...
No,
I know what you mean though. He's that similar mode of player. He's not like
does his job, doesn't make any headlines. Just he's never
solid.
really at fault. If that makes sense.
Yeah, he's super solid, and I think you probably find that if we didn't sign him, maybe Dan Burn wouldn't be the world beating centre half that he's been, because I think there's probably a lot of that is how good Target's been alongside him.
There was a picture that went on Twitter as well where a few Newcastle fans bumped into Target after the game, and they said like after chatting to him, it's pretty much done the deal.
Is it?
Yeah, in the summer, 15 million.
So that must have already been written. Like they must have, because there's no danger there accepting 50 million now.
They definitely wouldn't like.
After he's performed so well and basically we clearly really want him, they'd be like, well, 30 million, which I think is probably fair for like a starting left back who's like what, mid-20s.
Newcastle's just overtaken Villa in the league as well.
Have we?
Yeah, one position above them.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1 point on goal difference. It's still close, but
I did see a stat. I'm sure that that Lampard is accrued as many points as Gerrard has since Lampard went to Everton. That is bananas. Everyone's going, Gerrard's doing an amazing job.
I think he's done average. I think anyway, we won't get too much in that, but I think that Gerrard's coming there and said, "Look, give me this season. I'm going to try a few things out," because he has been chopping and changing his team, and next year is when he'll want to get judged. Anyway, that's another conversation. Right, Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Post-match, he came out and I think he gave a really good interview because he said Leicester were the better team.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing a little bit here. They controlled the game.
Mm-hmm.
We did well to obviously snatch it at the end, but he didn't come out and like, you know, some managers like, oh yeah, it was the game plan and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
He said like they deserved it, they were the better team.
Did he say at one point that we had to change the game plan to let them have the ball and play a bit more on the break?
I don't remember that jumping out. There's 2 points from his interview. One that he said straight away Leicester were the better side, and the second one, Newcastle fans like let us know. Not that I can imagine there's many Leicester fans watching this. The question he said, I've been asked this question loads, is are players playing every game now for the future? And he said, yeah, every player plays every game now for the future. We all are playing for the future based on where the club wants to be moving forward. That was just such a clever, the way he worded it was like, we all know that we get asked that question all the time, but every game everyone's playing for the future because people should want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Which is probably what's lifted the players of like
Kraft, Shaw,
Shelvey, Shah, Murphy.
Because in reality, they're not going to be there when the real, like, you know, like Man City, when like, you know,
it takes like 3 or 4 years, doesn't it?
There's only like Phil Foden, who turns out to be an absolute wonder kid.
We've got one of them potentially.
Yeah, we're going to mention Elliot Anderson, but what they could be on, they can be part of the journey to a certain point where they can maybe enjoy winning more games than they lose next season, like
a cup run,
or cup runs, or they can be part of the journey that gets us into the top 6 or like that sort of
Europa
stuff.
Plate, or whatever it's called.
So I think they are. I think Eddie Howe is generally brilliant in the press conferences. I think like really, really good. Like always listen to what he has to say and actually like enjoy listening to what he has to say.
But yeah, it's so refreshing than someone asking where's the bacon.
It is.
And not just having sly digs back at the press and
back at the fans or just spin a rhetoric that you just don't want to hear. Like actually listen to Eddie Howe because I actually think like he's got the club at heart and the best interest at heart and you want to hear him because you want to hear what he's got to say. He doesn't let too much away tactically, but he talks about how he wants to develop players and how he wants to improve players. So yeah, that's part of the game really.
Yeah, I don't think we can go too much more into the game really. We can look ahead to this week, double game week. So we've got Palace on Wednesday. So I'm there. I'm back from the family holiday, so yeah, I'm at Palace. Looking forward to that.
Class.
7:45 kickoff, and then we've got Norwich away on Saturday. What do you think points wise?
I think we might get 6 points. You know.
If we went back to a few weeks ago, we predicted these. I said, so Leicester, I predicted a point. But I did change it on Twitter to 3.
Have you got what I predicted?
You predicted 3 points for Leicester, 1 for Palace, and 3 for Norwich.
Well, I might change that because I think this home run of form is has obviously been brilliant, and I just potentially see it ongoing. Palace are a bit like Southampton in a sense, and Leicester in a sense that you just don't know what Palace are going to show up like.
They could roll over, they could go and beat Man City.
Yeah, which they did twice this
Palace, yeah.
season. Yeah.
Which is so. Palace, I'm going to be confident. 3 points. Norwich, I think anyone can beat them. Like they just, as long as you're tight at the back, you're going to get chances to score.
I think that's the difference because Norwich do create chances. They're not awful. They played well against Man United. Probably should have won the game.
Yeah.
Even like recent games where they've been battered, like they've always had chances. Pookie takes chances. He's decent.
Even like Liverpool.
Yeah, they were in that game, weren't they?
Yeah. Pookie, he only has one move, which is the ball over the back. Like how?
The little running. He's like a slow Jamie Vardy, and he's got one move in between fullback and right, and fullback and centre half.
He's literally a poor man's version of Vardy and Son, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. But he's decent at goals. He got a goal and assist, I think, didn't he, at the weekend? Got the assist, didn't he, for the second? So, yes, you will create chances. They can create chances, but they are shite at the back, like. And if you press them high, as like Alanga showed at the weekend, like they are hopeless. Like
big Grant Huntley as a captain and Tim Krul and goal. Like
I think Grant Huntley's been good by all accounts this season. He was awful at Newcastle, like wasn't he? Or at least for a period, he was like the end of his career at Newcastle was.
I just hope every week by week Norwich's heads are dropping a little bit and they're going down, and that should be 6 points. So
I mean, they could have easily walked out of Old Trafford with at least a point, but probably should have won that game. But they give 2 goals away to Man United. So
we put a poll on our Twitter page asking, can Newcastle finish top 10?
I said yes to this. I think I missed out.
Yeah, I said yes.
Did you?
But mine was a bit more sober. I imagine yours was probably a little bit warmer.
Wow, at least. Well, you win the league, man.
You were Googling how to qualify for the Europa League.
What's that you got to play about?
Yeah. But yeah, it could be 10, man. Look at mid-table. We're the team that's on form right now.
We're Champions League form, aren't we? Since the turn of the year.
Yeah. So if you look at since January, I was going to say the date there, but yeah, since January 2021. No, since January, we'll be second in the league based on form.
And that's 12 games. So it's a
we played
fair
11.
sample size.
We played 11, and the team below us played 13. So yeah.
Oh, really? Unbeaten at home since like December. Is that right?
Except for Cambridge, but.
Aye. Yeah, because Cambridge are the only team that beat Newcastle at St James's this year.
Yeah.
I'm sure we got City, haven't we, though? But I've said we're going to beat City, so it's fine.
That's fine.
So I think I would take 4 points.
Let's go on. Results.
Okay.
Palace.
2-1 again.
2-1. 2-1's like my go-to as well.
I'm going to say away at Norwich, though, 2-0.
2-0?
2-0, yeah. Because we're defensively, we are actually defensively solid, and I don't think, obviously we don't have to have Harry Maguire playing for us, so like we probably won't give as many chances away as Man United. So
okay, I'm going to say 2-0 and 1-0.
1-0 away.
I think we're pretty strong at home. Palace don't have as much up top, so I think we'll beat them. I was debating between 2-0 or 3-1 because I'm confident. I want to go 2-0, but Norwich, I don't know. I've got a feeling it could be one of them shitey games. Where we play like Burnley, we beat them.
Like Norwich at home.
Norwich at home. We haven't got Kieran Clark to get sent off, thank God. But them teams low down, which we should be beating. We're going to beat the teams that we shouldn't pretty easy. So I'm going to go 2-0 and 1-0.
I would absolutely take that.
A heartbeat.
We're safe now, though.
Oh yeah.
37 points. No one's even getting 37 points.
Nah, not at all.
I don't think. I think 35 will be the magic number. Even then, I think you'd be comfortable.
I think that's optimistic. Yeah.
I think you make it. I think City make it relegated in the 20s this season.
Yeah, I think a couple might.
Do you reckon?
Roy Hodgson's claiming there's 6 games left. They can pick up 18 points.
I know,
but they can't score open goals. So yeah,
it was bad that one. But so that would put Newcastle, if we win both them games, 43 points.
Yeah, and then we've got to run it. Was that when we come across Liverpool and City? Then is it?
Are they back-to-back games? Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably get no from them. Even the most optimistic of fans would probably say we're going to get no from them. Wouldn't it be good though? Newcastle going to be kingmakers. We're both the top 2 to play.
Yeah, so we've got, after Norwich, we have Liverpool at home, City away, Arsenal at home. So that's the last home game of the season, and Burnley. So we can have a big say on like the top and the bottom, aren't we?
Aye. I mean, it'd be nice to Newcastle to take the points off one of the big 2 to give the other one the title.
Did you see a few posts which have gone on Twitter where Rafa takes over Burnley, beats Newcastle to save Everton, to relegate Everton.
Aye, class. Newcastle's like, put the kids up.
Yeah. But you want to mention
Elliot Anderson?
Yeah, before we go.
Yeah, I think it's nice to see a loan signing. Matty Longstaff scored as well, actually, for Mansfield.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see.
Do you think Longstaff's going to get a shot now, though?
Nah. But Elliot Anderson, by all accounts, they put on, so their Bristol Rovers account put on, have you ever seen a player as good as this? And like people are saying, I've been coming to like 93, and I've never seen a player this good. We'll probably never see somebody where...
that's class, that.
It's mad, isn't it, that? I think Eddie Howe has said that he said a couple of weeks ago when he was asked, when he scored a couple of goals, maybe 3 or 4 goals, he was asked in a press conference, what you thinking about, what's your thoughts about Elliot Anderson? He says, great, he's doing really well, although I do think he could have played the Championship. So he's basically saying he's probably too good for League 2, because they're League 2, remember?
Yeah.
So it is lower down. But yeah, he's got 6 goals and 3 assists, which is 9 direct goal involvement, and that is the most from any teenager in the top 4 divisions, other than Carvalho at
Fulham. So what do you make him loan him out next season again then?
I think next season you've got to try and get him a Championship next season. See what he's like in the Championship. See if you can get it. No, see if you can get a sort of Peterborough, Reading or somebody, or like a QPR, kind of like some sort of mid to lower Championship. Yeah, Borough, perfect. He scored on goals, wasn't he? But yeah, it's just nice. It's nice to see wouldn't it be class if it was like our Phil Foden, and it turns out he was like magic.
Yeah.
But he's scoring his goal again was quality. He won goal the season already.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's already confirmed.
And it was class. It was like a Gascoigne-esque goal, like. Pedro, I think people are saying his similarities to like how Beardsley plays. Aye.
Yeah, I was going to say that though. He's dribbling, he's close control. Yeah, definitely see it 100%.
And he's played for Scotland under 21s, so he's got a Scottish granddad, so I keep tagging my pal in everything because I know that if he gets anywhere near international, surely he can't play for England.
But Gareth Southgate loves giving out them one caps just here and there everywhere, doesn't he? Just on the off chance.
On the off chance that it turns out your class.
Yeah.
Sat before it though, like if you look at Declan Rice, Jack Grealish.
Grealish, yeah.
Both played for Ireland, didn't they? Devastated there. But I think it's worth just a shout. I think I've been sort of keeping an eye for their account now. I just like seeing all this stuff. But another goal of the weekend. Opening goal. Class.
Well, I think we'll leave it there, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you very much for everyone who's watching. If you listen on Spotify, thank you very much. Make sure you download and subscribe, and please share, retweet, tell all your mates about us. Please leave a comment in this video. Give us a thumbs up. If you want to catch any of us on Twitter, you can get the pod at NUFC Talk Pod. You can catch me on Glen_NUFC.
And at Yanis NUFC.
And then also, what's the TikTok handle?
I think it's the same as Twitter.
NUFC Talk Pod.
I think so. I think it's NUFC Talk Pod. Yeah.
We type it in, you'll see our ugly faces.
I'll put it in. I'll put all the stuff in the bio. Links in the bio.
Awesome. Okay. Again, we shall see you. If you see us at the game, come say hi. We'll have a beer. Have a great week. Hopefully, when we press record 7 days from now, another 6 points. We're on 43.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Happy days.
On the way to Europe.
Alright, cool, awesome. Thank you very much.